Hello, students. I'm glad to see you today. My name is Ina, and I would like to discuss with you prepositions of movements. This is the last webinar about prepositions, but not the last one. Maybe not the last one even either. I don't know yet. So let's write down the topic. Maybe you would like to write it in your copybooks. We have prepositions of movements. Let's discuss why we need to use them, why we need to know them. Prepositions of movements, movement, that means when we move. We have a lot of different verbs which show movements. I will write you them down over here. What kind of verbs can help us to show that we are moving from one place to another? Well, of course, the verb move can be. It can be also the verb run, go, fly, take, jump, right, jump, climb, and others. So the verbs that show that we move, we don't stand still, we move somewhere, back and forward. I'm going now to write you the list of these prepositions of movements, and I will draw the scheme of them. So first of all, the list of them. We have here up and down. I know lots of you know already them. We got over, away. Also, we have toward, or sometimes we say just to. You know it already. Past, into, and out of. Also, we got with you around, onto, off, across, through, under, alone, and from, to. Like toward, to, from, to. Let's look at the scheme, how it's going on. So let's imagine an object, and when we move up this object, so we move up. When we think about it and we move down, so it's over here. This is our object, and we are moving over like that. I want you to pay attention that we say, for example, I'm flying. Okay, yeah, I will give you some examples maybe. I'm going up the stairs, or I'm going down the stairs, down. I'm flying over the Atlantic Ocean. But in this case, we have also a set phrase to go over the bridge. Please pay attention to that we say over the bridge. Away. This is our object, and we are moving away from it. Like I'm running away from the dog. Toward, this is our object, and we are moving toward it. So we are, I'm running toward the dog. I want to catch my dog. Past, this is our object, and we just passed by. Like I'm going past the shop. I will not enter it, just past. Into, I have here a box, and I put something into a box. Out of is opposite. Out of, this is our object, and we take it out of the box. Around our object, and this is around. Onto. This is, let's have a table. This is a table. And when we put something onto the table, that's here. This is our object, and we put it onto the table, on the surface. And opposite will be off. I will give you maybe a better example about bridge. Off. For example, to jump off the bridge, like to jump from the surface of the bridge. Across. When we have a street, let's have a street. There is one shop, and there is another one. And across, this is when we go across the street, like across. It doesn't matter about shops. Sorry, I don't know why I draw them. I meant that we like go across the street, or to go across something like that. This is across. Through. When we have with you a tunnel, let's imagine this is a tunnel, and we go through the tunnel, so we are inside the tunnel. Under. This is our object, and we go under the object. Along. For example, if we have a river, okay, we can walk along the river, or we can walk along the beach. From. I am in Kiev, and I go from Kiev to another place. That's two. So from Kiev, and this is to Paris. Let's see, why not to Paris? So to go from Kiev, this is from one place to another, and two, that's to go to one place from another, as I said. Now we will practice with you a little bit of these words. Let me check whether I have drawn you all of them. Yeah, I guess yes. So let's look at some sentences. Well, we will have not only sentences, we will have some pictures and some fun exercises to do, and well, to make you remember them. I'll get to my presentation. So what we have here, the first one we have here with you, prepositions of position, and we have here a story about a man. And your task is, we have already even prepositions of movements here, but your task is to put these words into correct place. One day, Richard had a problem at work, so he went for a walk, a very long walk. He walked down the stairs, we have down, and out of the, what do you think, out of the what? I guess out of the building. And across, I guess, road, through the park we have here, and over. I told you about one expression which we use with over, and this is over the bridge. Let's find out the end of the story. Alone. Where he went alone? He went along the river. He passed a statue. Up some steps we have here. Then he got into a taxi, which drove him from the river to the airport. And nobody ever saw him again. So this is how he solved his problem. Very easily, he just flew away from the problem. Let's look at the next one. We have here with you also some sentences, and instead of stars, we have to think about the preposition to use. I'll give you like 10 seconds, I think it's enough to make your choice, and after that we will check. So let's check what we have here. The first one, the train is going through a tunnel. A young girl is swimming across the river, not along the river. Please pay attention. Across from one bank to another. He is walking up a mountain, and an old woman is walking down some steps. Next, please. So, what we got here? They are driving from London to Bath easily. They are driving past some shops, so they don't enter these shops. They are just driving past them. A woman is getting out of a taxi. You can look a webinar about preposition, about phrasal verbs with get, and you will understand why we need to use here get out of a taxi. And the last one, two people are walking along the road, like along. They are walking along the road, not across the road, but along the road. One more. So what we've got here, two people are running along the beach. He is driving over the bridge. A young man is cycling past the station. He doesn't enter it. And the man in the suit is getting into his car. Very nice. Let's look at the next one. These are just schemes. I found these pictures on mass cards, flashcards, I think, .com website, but I thought that they show precisely the prepositions. So think how to describe this picture using our prepositions from the list. I guess we can move on. So the first one, up the stairs, of course, down the stairs, over the box, from the box, oh sorry, away from the box and towards the box. And the last one is past the box. 6 more pictures, please. I guess it's easy too. So the first one, into the box, out of the box, we have around the box, onto the box, and off the box, and across the bridge. It's American English. More, over the bridge is British English. Two more pictures. I guess it's easy. The first one is through the tunnel, and the last one is under the box. The first and the last. Okay, we got only two. Let's look at the next. We got here also some pictures to describe using correct preposition. I think they are very easy to describe, so we will move on. Climbing up the mine and sliding down the mine, walking into the mine, getting on the plane and getting off the plane. One more time, you need to look at the webinar with the phrasal verbs which we can create using the word get, and it will be explained why we say get into a taxi or get on the plane, get out of the taxi or get off the plane. The next, walking out the mine. Next pictures, please. We got here riding over the mountain, we can say, or up the mountain, I would also use. Riding past the mountain and riding toward the mountain. Swimming under the shark, swimming around the shark, and I think the best way you can do swimming away from the shark. Next, please. So running through the forest, like go through the park, go through the tunnel, running across the dam or over the dam in British English, running across the bridge again or over the bridge in British English, jumping off the bridge and jumping onto the bridge. Off, this is from, and onto, this is on at. And we have a nice plane, which we also think how to describe it. The first one, flying over the cloud, flying under the cloud, flying through the cloud, flying around the cloud, and flying past the cloud. We got a few more pictures to describe, and then we will do some exercises. So what we got here? Walking down the stairs and walking up the stairs. I guess everybody knows that already. Riding into the cave, running towards the dragon and running away from the dragons. And riding out of the cave. Now we got with you some sentences. I will give you a minute to think. And in these sentences, you need to use the prepositions which are written above. Please go ahead. I suppose it's better if we check. So the first one, I got out of the bus when the phone rang, so I needed to stand up. And it was like inside the bus. I forgot to send a birthday card to my friend, Helen. He was very tired when we got back from Austria, and you are going to stay in a holiday apartment inside the holiday apartment in Spain. The next one, please. The first one is a little bit tricky. So, the first sentence which we have here, we stopped at the traffic lights. This is a sad phrase which you need to use with traffic lights. Please listen to my webinar about prepositions of place. He took all the toys out of the box and left them on the floor. Our friends met us at the airport. It's just a place where we arrived in Berlin, when we arrived in Berlin. Also, I told about arrived not lesson, webinar. He felt very hot, and so he jumped into the beautiful clean water. Oh, so pretty. In the last few sentences, please think what to use there. Maybe let's check. So we took our lunch into the garden and ate it on the grass. When I arrived and carried my heavy bag all the way from the station to the hotel. I arrived at work. Why did you throw that ball onto the roof? All the books suddenly fell off the shelf, and it was lovely morning, so I walked to work. Well, that's it for today. Let's make a conclusion and say goodbye to each other. So we got here with you the prepositions of movements. Again, each of them has a specific meaning. If you learn this meaning, if you know what this word means, what this preposition means, you won't have any troubles using it. Thank you very much for your time. I hope the information was useful for you. See you soon. Bye.